How you doing, YouTube? Matt with Massive Beer Reviews, back with yet another review. A little bit of Pilsner time in the form of Schlafly Brewing's Pilsner. Never had this before. Why? We don't get Schlafly in my area. But we are lucky enough to get it kind of close to me, so I can pick up dribs and drabs of their stuff. So I have reviewed some of their stuff. I've had my fair share of stuff. But I'm lucky enough that I actually got a couple of beers from the brewery themselves. So thank you very much, guys. Sent me off a couple of bits and pieces, and this is one of them. So let's dive right in. As far as what it says on the beer itself, it says, let's see, Schlafly Pilsner is a golden and crystal clear lager. The hops lead to a pleasant bitterness and a lemony, peppery taste. They're added at the beginning of the brew for bitterness and the end for flavor. It reads weird. As it reads, they add the hops at the beginning of the brew for bitterness and the end for flavor. So for bitterness and at the end for flavor, it sounds like the end of flavor. I don't know. Weirded me out. Anyway, Pilsner beer, Schlafly, St. Louis Brewery. Let's see. Pretty fresh stuff. About a month and a half old. 5% alcohol by volume. That'd be that. It's Schlafly's labels. They're old school. I dig it. They have little pints for prostate's little cap on there. And that never sucks. And yeah, let's give it a whirl, see what she's got. In the mood for a Pilsner. Just got off the road, driving a couple hours back and forth from the old Jersey. Pick up the future wife. Could use a beer. Piggy finger. Creamy head. Not too crazy. Back bubbles. And man, just off from being absolutely magnifying glass clear. Might even be just a little bit of that kind of chilly haze around the edge of it. That's kind of makes it has that subtle haze. So it's got a micron of subtle haziness to it. Very soft carbonation. She definitely looks like a Pilsner, let's put it that way. Golden strong color, kind of watered out, washed out a little bit. Yeah, see if we can get a nose on her. A bright, semi-sweet kind of like Pilsnery / biscuity kind of malt thing going on in there. And a little bit of dryness and like a funky fruitiness. That's what I usually get from a lot of lager yeast. So I can get a dryness and a little bit of funky fruitiness. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's really all you want when it comes to a classic Pilsner, and that's the thing. A lot of breweries today, especially a lot of the smaller breweries, put out Pilsners and Kolsch's and stuff like that. They're not actually producing them. What they're doing is they're taking a base of a Pilsner or Kolsch, and they're kind of adding so many different elements to it. It's kind of outside of what a typical Pilsner, I shouldn't say should be, but as the classification classic and to the T, I guess you would say should, are. So this comes off very traditional-like, whereas a lot of these kind of jacked up, messed with new ones come off a little bit too sideways to be called a Pilsner. They usually taste fantastic, especially if they come from great breweries. Just kind of saying, a lot of breweries are like, we make a Kolsch, and we're like, no, you don't. You make some weird, bizarro version of what you think a Kolsch is. Not necessarily make it a Kolsch. And I'm the farthest from a BJCP nerd, so. Anyway. So yeah, she looks the part, she smells the part. See what she tastes like. Cheers. I mean, I'm just going to go textbook here. Clean, crisp, refreshing. A little bit of dryness on there from that kind of lager yeast. A nice kind of Pilsner malt. That subtle kind of biscuity thing going on. Even a little bit of bitterness. Enough to kind of balance off that sweetness that is there. And it's, clean as could possibly be. Which is pretty much what you want when it comes to a classic kind of Pilsner. Or a lighter beer like this. I mean, that lager yeast comes across nice. The Pilsner malt is super vibrant, a little bit more vibrant than you get from some of the more traditional kind of German and Czech Pilsners. But, even that sweetness is a little bit bigger, goes hand in hand with that little bit bigger malt profile. But there's enough of that just straight bittering, old school kind of hop to kind of balance it off and make it pretty damn tasty. So yeah, let's talk about it. It's one of the better Pilsners I've had as of late. Actually, yeah. Absolutely delicious. Could crush 1,000 of these. And that's what they're made for. But yeah, super tasty, clean, crisp to the point. The cleanliness. Haven't banged on that too much. That's what I should really land this. That's where these beers really shine. A lot of breweries can make them, but they can get a little bit sideways, a little cream corny, a little bit buttery. But this one, none of that going on. And it's a bigger brewery. that has, beers, even though this is relatively fresh, beers that kind of sit around for a bit. So even some breweries can kind of knock it out of the park quick. But once they get it about a month into them, the beers can get a little bit sideways. This shows none of that. It comes off really, really easy drinking, really, really well made. Value and availability, no idea. It's a Pilsner. It's 5%. Chance starts coming in 6-packs and somewhere hovering around $10. Let's put it that way. And just say if you like what we like this. If you like clean, crisp, refreshing, well-made beers, if you like Pilsners, Kolsch's, smaller, chuggable beers, you'll like this one because that's what this is. And it has all that stuff in spades. So there you go. Another review in the books. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you didn't, somewhere down there, words and stuff. Me, Massive Beers. All one word. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Untapped. There's 4 things in there. Even more things. Just plug my name in the internets and you can find me all over the place. And yeah. There you go, another review down. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed our review. Hopefully you're enjoying a nice Pilsner right now. And hope we'll see you next time. Cheers.